at the beginning of the year, and like it's like end of year reflection and beginning of the year, like I kind of take mid-December to mid-January and sort of work at these things. I don't just sit down and do it all in one go. It's kind of like I start noodling on these things. So I love to think about what kind of goals did I set for myself the last year. So for 2024, some of my goals were to say no more because, as I mentioned in episode 1, I tend to say yes, and then I pack my schedule and I feel overwhelmed, and then that brings me to burnout faster. I wanted to experiment with little to no alcohol, which I mostly do kind of naturally anyway, and have continued to kind of like it's a pretty infrequent part of my life. I wanted to make hard pants. That has been on my to-do
What are
list.
hard
Like your
pants?
pants that you're wearing now, like button up, like firm, not stretchy waist, soft pants.
Like pants that you could like pull down at the end of the day and walk out of, and
Yes.
they'd still be standing
Yes.
up.
Yes, exactly.
I love when that happens, by the way. It's so charming.
Yeah, it's like your pants are their own little character in your life. Yeah, I feel like that is something that would help me in my sewing practice, like learning the skills to be able to do that. It's quite intimidating to me, and I don't often wear hard pants, so
Oh, I guess
know,
you did give me your hard pants.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a pair of jeans, but most of my pants are elastic waist. Which is
I gotta embrace
cool.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just a flowy bottoms kind of gal.
Which is great.
So yeah, the hard pants didn't happen. And I've had that on my list for 2 years, and I'm not going to put it on my 2025 list. These are all just also from the top of my brain. I didn't bring my list, which
That's good.
I write them down and I tape it to my wall so that I can like kind of continuously reflect. So those were kind of my make a scrap quilt. So just use the scraps that I've had, and I've started several of those. They haven't turned into full quilts yet, but I'm entering right now the mode of quilt season.
Nice.
Basement cozy time. So those are kind of the things that I started as goals for this year, and then I also set like professional goals. So for my Rachael Renee business, I wanted to start a YouTube, which I did, and I'm trying to be better about setting metric goals, even if I don't ever achieve them. So I was like, 5K subscribers. That feels like a reach. But if I hit it, I would be stoked. I am realizing that YouTube is really hard for me. It's easy for me to talk like this. It's easy for me to write my newsletter when I can just kind of brain
Free
dump.
flow, yeah.
Yeah. Even Instagram feels like quick videos, but YouTube, unless I'm just doing like a gab sesh is what I call them, and just talking at the camera, it's pretty hard for me to like move the camera, get this, capture this, and it really takes me out of the creative flow of a project.
Yeah.
I would love to share more of the background of me doing the projects, but then like speeding up this part, finding this angle.
It detracts from the project. You're now a cinematographer.
Yeah. And like a lot of those projects are personal projects for my own fulfillment. And so like taking myself out of them has been really de-energizing.
You know
draining.
what the solution is? 4 iPhones mounted to your table.
Perfect. I just like wear a GoPro on my head at all times.
I've thought about that before, and I was like, I can't. No.
That I could probably, convince myself it's like a headlamp, which I have that for camping, and I have worn a headlamp.
I hope to never wear a headlamp in my life. I don't wear hats. I'm very vain about my hair.
We're not touching
the only
your head.
reason.
Yeah. How do you feel about a crown?
Like
I don't know, like a
costume
crown, or I know you don't really wear costumes, but what about barrettes? Like I've never seen you wear any accessories eyes up. Like you have nose piercings, you wear earrings. There's no
Wow, I didn't even realize my head could be a vessel for.
My head is a vessel for a lot. Yeah.
No, even all of my New York and Michigan friends think I'm a nut. but I won't even wear a winter hat.
What about like a babushka style like scarf around your head if it's really cold, like out of necessity? You just don't go outside in the winter, I feel like.
Yeah, that's my strategy.
That's super fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, those are some of the things like I create these goals, and some of them are like far reaching goals, like 5K
Yeah.
subscribers is a lot for not having a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I was posting regularly. I created a schedule for myself, and it felt restrictive. It felt draining. It felt stressful. And so I'm like, what is this, like, what goal is this serving? And
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, it's connecting with my audience in a different way, but I would rather connect to them through this platform.
Yeah, with like fewer subscribers or listeners, then that makes a lot of sense to me. It reminds me of something I think I heard one of my favorite comedians say in an interview. His name's Josh Johnson. He's blown up in the last year in particular. He became a Daily Show correspondent. But even before then, he was writing for the show. Anyways, I've been following this work for a long time. Kristle and I went to go see him here recently. He's just lovely. There are a lot of bits that I've wanted to send to you, but I also know you don't really watch a ton of comedy.
Here's the thing, though. I really like it. I just never. I think I was talking to my friend Irene about this because she's a big comedy person.
Okay.
You are. Carly is. Like a lot of my close friends are. You guys watch stand up. You go see it.
Yeah.
If someone is like, let's go see a comedy show, I'll go.
That's true.
Laugh.
You have come with me before.
Yeah. And when Irene and I were in London,
Sorry,
it was like
the girth goblin.
Yeah, that was we went to like was it Don't Tell comedy? Yeah. We went to a version of that when we were in London. And it was funny because like they all just talked about American politics and we were just like, yeah, we know, we fucking know. But I had a good time. Like I am very easily entertained and I think a lot of things are funny.
Yeah.
And I like comedy, but the thought I had to like figure out why I'm so resistant to like sitting down and watching a special. And Nairi sent me a clip of someone, and I was like, "Hey, would you mind putting together like 5 comedy specials and where they're at, and like tell me which ones to watch?" It's like I need instruction.
Sure.
Whereas like if it's a book, I'll just kind of wander into a feeling of like this sounds good, but
you've honed your intuition there.
Yes, yeah. A comedy special is really like overwhelming for me. So
I'm
happy to accept clips. I'm happy to go with you guys to the shows.
Yeah. But yeah, Josh mentioned something because he's blown up. They were doing an interview in Wired. I think it was on their YouTube channel. We can put it in the show notes. But he was talking about, navigating social media, like focusing on growth, because that is the goal for most content creators, any artists who are putting their work out there. I think you'd ideally like to grow a large audience of like raving fans. But he was talking about how he tries to set goals that he has some control like of the outcome over. And something like hitting 5,000, 10,000 subscribers, followers, like daddy algorithm is in control, right?
Daddy algorithm,
like,
yeah.
We can do something like post every day. So what Josh has been doing is posting 1 video a day for the last year. And his YouTube subscriber count has gone up like 500,000. It's nuts. He's been putting in the work. He found this kind of formula that works really well where he's doing kind of topical news stuff because it's adjacent to what he does at The Daily Show as well. They're longer clips, so I think the watch time helps with the algorithm. He's talking about, things that are big headlines, making commentary. He's just a nice storyteller. It's not like bop, 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 punchy comedy. He's just like a chill dude who is good at holding an audience's attention. And he's been doing this for like 10 plus years. But yeah, the idea that setting goals where you have control over like, can I hit this goal? Like posting every day.
Yeah.
Is better than saying, I want to hit 100K subscribers because then you're disappointed. Of course, when you don't hit that, you're like, clearly I suck, but that's not what happened.
Right.
It's really kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah.
But like you said, did you write your newsletter every week? Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's such a good point. And I'm going to take that as I think about my reflections for like the end of 2024 and going into next year, because I think I set those sort of like more metric based goals when I was working with one of my coaches who I have appreciated that, they're just trying to help me set metrics and try to reach them. But I'm more of a feelings based, and you're right. Like, can I commit to writing my newsletter every other week? Can I commit to posting 5 or 6 days a week? Absolutely, I do those things regularly, and those will naturally cause growth of whether that's like a deeper connection with my existing audience, which we've talked about. Like, I'd rather have the followers that I have now and never gain another one if I can encourage a deeper connection and
Mhm.
and help people feel more seen and provide more value to those people that are already there.